So what do you say, though, to the person who's listening to you right now and they're like, okay, I don't know about that. I mean, surely the point of Christianity isn't to continually realize we're a mess. Isn't it about sanctification? And doesn't sanctification make us less messy?
In a sense, but I'm thinking of Therese here, who says that I am content. She got to the place of realizing, I am content with discovering ever new imperfections in my life every day. I am content. And we could just supply the word mess too, right?
Yeah.
I am content with discovering ever new messes in my life. I remember I was on a retreat, and I would say that's sanctity. Who was it? It was Teresa of Avila who says, you only see the spots on the glass when you hold it up to the light, right? And we hear the saints saying things like, Mother Teresa, I am the most wretched of sinners. And we're like, yeah, right.
It's like the person after a big test at high school was like, I know I'm going to flunk that. You're like, shut up. Shut up. We all know you get straight A's.
But when Mother Teresa said, I am the most wretched of sinners, this was not some pious thing she was saying, like I'm supposed to say that. It's because she was holding her glass up to the light.
And she knew she was loved in that. Because without knowing you're loved in that, it would just cripple you.
Exactly.
And what do? Like, if you see your mess absent of the gaze of the loving Father,
you're screwed.
You are either screwed and fall into despair, or you do what I'm sure I do, is you just keep wearing a mask to hide the mess.
Yes. If you are not looking at your mess in mercy, or you're not letting mercy show you your mess, you will either pretend you're not a mess and wear a mask, or you will despair.
Yeah.
A saint.
Or you'll vacillate
between the two.
Yeah,
and I vacillated between that for years.
Wow.
And the brightest lights in my life, my wife, my spiritual director, Albacetti, these people I knew personally. I mean, JP2 is a bright light. I met him a couple times, but I can't say I had a relationship with JP2. But the people in my life I had relationships with, Albacetti, my wife Wendy, my spiritual director, these three people in particular have helped me, not just in a here, but here, to know, to believe that a saint is not a perfect person. A saint is someone who knows he or she is perfectly loved in all his or her imperfections. Albacetti knew that.
Yeah.
My wife knows that. My spiritual director knows that, and I'm learning that.
Where's the room, though, to say to Albacetti, it's great that you're a mess and you're very comfortable with yourself and that you know that you're loved, but it's more appropriate if you clean up a car for the car. Like, is there room for that?
I wouldn't want to change him.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
I mean, there's what I feel in my bones when you say that. I hear like voices from my childhood.
Get your shit together.
Get your shit together. Exactly. Get your shit together.
Yeah.
And my spiritual director once said to me, he said he's like, he's a straight talker and I need straight talk. And it was at this time, 12 years ago, when I was going through that public criticism. And he said to me, Christopher, you are a recovering perfectionist. And you think a saint is someone who has his shit together.
Yeah.
And he said to me, it was a game changer. It was one of those game-changing moments. He said, no. A saint is not someone who has his shit together. A saint is someone who has all of his SHIT open to the merciful love of the Father. And I grew up with a lot of pressure to get my shit together. And it was crippling.
Yeah, me too.
And is there a place to clean your room? Of course there is. And, thinking of Jordan Peterson, he's changing lives by simply telling disorganized people to clean their room.
3 times a day. Wake up at a decent hour and
clean your room.
Consistent with that, clean your room.
And so, yes, there's a place for that. Absolutely. But it shouldn't be... It shouldn't come from, I'm not lovable if I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not doing this to be lovable. I love Albacetti, and I love that he was comfortable in his mess. I am a man of organization.
Yeah.
I need an organized place. My office is organized. My bedroom is organized.
Is that true?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Who's more organized, you or your wife?
I am, no doubt.
Yeah.
And my kids know that messes will like trigger me.
Me too.
And I have spent a lot of time in spiritual direction working through this obsession with messes. I have an obsession with messes. Why do I have an obsession with messes? Here's what I've learned.
Tell me, because it's probably the same thing for me.
And I'm saying, Matt, years of working through this stuff. I believe there's a big lie in here that my messes make me unlovable. And if I believe that, if somewhere deep in my psyche, I believe that messes make me unlovable, I cannot bear being unlovable. That is unbearable. So what's my solution?
Clean it up.
Clean up. Everything's got to be cleaned up.
Yeah.
Because the alternative is I'm not lovable. And it has caused an obsession in me that has been wounding to my wife, wounding to my kids. I remember, 5, 6 years ago, I walked into the living room, and for the umpteenth time, there were playing cards scattered.
Yeah.
And I know, okay, this is the 300th deck of cards that's no longer going to be complete because the cards are scattered everywhere. And I walked, Beth and the kids were playing with the cards, and I said, who the friends? And this is my daughter's response. She was 13 at the time. She says, my kids call me Papa. She said, Papa, don't freak out about the cards. We're just playing with the cards. And
don't you hate when your kids speak logic into your emotional chaos?
Yes,
You're like,
exactly.
You're right.
Exactly. Yeah. And I could, some might say I would be justified as a father to assert my authority and don't talk back to me, clean up the damn cards.
Yeah.
But we have to learn also from our children. And she was teaching me something. I'm a kid, and it's okay for me to play with the cards. And you're on your freak out. You're in freak out mode.
Yeah.
And I knew there was I'm not freaking out. I just want the cards. Well, I am freaking out, right?
Yeah.
Why am I freaking out? Because way down in there, deeply in my heart, as a kid, I believed this lie that my messes make me unlovable. I had an older brother who was, to put it frankly, a slob. His room was a total mess, and he was always in trouble. Well, guess what? I got all kinds of kudos and approval from my parents because my room
You're not like him.
I'm not like him. Yeah. My room is clean and organized. Give me that, give me that, give me that. How do I win that? How do I win that? Clean, organized. When I meet Albacete and he walks into the classroom and his comb over is flying in the wind and he's smoking a cigarette and there are no smoking signs everywhere and he has ashes all over his clerics and spaghetti sauce on his clerics, I'm like, who is this man? And then not only brilliance comes out of his mouth, but I get to know him and he has encountered some love. He knows he's loved right there. I did not know that. I did not know I'm loved in my mess. So yes, there is a place of common courtesy to living with other people, try to clean up your messes. But if it's coming from a place of obsession, and if it's coming from a place of I believe that I'm not loved if I'm a mess, okay, work through that, and don't lean on organization and cleaning everything up for some sense that you're lovable, because you're just reinforcing the lie that you're not lovable in your real broken humanity.
How do you know you're doing that?
How do you know you're doing
How do you know you are kind of trying to get everything together so that you'll be lovable? Because I think one of the defenses that'll go up while listening to you from people and even myself is, okay, fine, but that's not why I do it. I actually just like to be organized, and that could actually be true.
I don't think I will ever not like to be organized.
Yeah. But I mean, the first thing that came to my mind was, I think when I am in a good place, and I know I'm loved, and I don't have any weight on my shoulders, which hasn't been a great deal lately, I'm a lot gentler with other people. And I think that's meekness, I think, is probably a sign that you're not striving for approval. Because when you're striving for approval, you're hard on yourself. And when you're hard on yourself, I don't think you're gentle with the messes of your kids or your wife.
True. Yes, I think that is a very important window. I know when I am more at peace with the messes my children make, I'm more at peace with myself. my dog is a great barometer for me.
I was about to say that. Yeah, me
How
too.
I treat my dog is a window into how I'm treating myself.
Thank you for watching this clip. You can click here to watch the full episode. And I want to say a big thanks to our sponsors and to our amazing patrons for making all of this possible. Please do us a favor before you go. Click that subscribe button and then the bell. And that way YouTube will be forced to let you know every time we put out a new episode.